17.
Hey comic book community, Long Box Love Affair here with another video. This is my second in less than 24 hours, less than 12 hours about. So that's a little bit of a record for me, I guess. I'm trying not to post too much to overwhelm everyone, but I have a lot of stuff to share. And there's another video that I've had in my queue for a while that will be making its way sometime soon, but I just keep on finding other stuff that I feel is more pressing, more important, more cool. So I woke up this morning, rainy Sunday morning, and sitting here in DC, and watched a video by Bryanspaceboy 227, and he is doing 100 sub contest. He's past 100, around 105 as I speak, and so kudos to you, man. That's awesome. I was there not too long ago. I don't have that many more than you, and pretty soon we'll be even. And so hopefully we both keep on growing our subs here. But wanted to honor his achievement and participate in a contest video that he's holding. So his 100 sub contest is to show off 3 of our favorite books. So I had a hard time picking 3. I've been pulling a bunch of my key issues, things that I've loved, and trying to figure out, do I CGC them? Do I hold on to them? Do I rebag them? So I have those in the queue on my floor, and I'm trying to figure out that task. But in the meantime, all my stuff was readily at my disposal. I have a lot of comics in a friend's closet that I got rid of my storage unit, and I'm using his space. I also have some in my closet, and I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my whole collection. I will probably have to get a storage unit again, which I did not want to spend the money on, but if I can get a small storage unit, I probably have almost 20 boxes worth of stuff. I used to have 50 boxes worth of stuff, so I downsized pretty much just to a core collection plus some investments. So I want to show the first book is one that's going to be hot, coming out in the next, it's already out, but it's with the movies and everything, it's going to be a hot commodity. I've been buying a bunch of them whenever I find it, and that is Infinity Gauntlet #1. Now, this is a book that is near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorites. Obviously, that's why I'm showing it today, but I'm a huge Thanos fan. I've always been. I love the villains. I love the Infinity Gauntlet. I first started collecting mainstream Marvel stuff around the time that the last issue of Infinity Gauntlet came out. And I actually read the last issue first. As a kid, I had no idea. I was so confused. Who's Warlock? I had a sense of Silver Surfer somehow, and Hulk and Captain America from the Secret War action figures that they had back in the, I guess, 80s. I had those as a kid. So seeing them again, it kind of jogged my memory and wanted to start collecting. So I collected Infinity Gauntlet #6, and then when there was a local con where I grew up in Rochester, New York, and I picked up some of these other issues, and this is one of those issues I've had in my collection forever. So love this issue. The George Perez art is killer. He didn't stick with it the whole time though, but I have a special affinity for this issue, and so this is one of my favorites. Another favorite of mine is the Valiant comic series. The original Valiant from the 90s, early 90s, the pre-Unity stuff. For Valiant collectors, you know what that means. It's the pre-Unity crossover that they had, everything that came before that, because that was before people started collecting and taking notice. Right after that crossover, there was an issue that I just love, Rye Zero. So this is on the bag. It's an old bag. So I have a couple copies of this. Killer cover. I remember when this came out. My uncle and I were collecting at the time, so this holds a special meaning in my heart for that. And it's the history of the Valiant universe from current up into the future. So it's kind of a forward-thinking book, and there weren't many at that time that really showed the future like that. And it really gave a blueprint for Valiant. In some ways, it pigeonholed them. So one of my favorite. And I actually had that as a CGC signature too. Another favorite of mine, this is from my childhood, but it has relevance to today, is New Mutants 87. 87, right? Yeah. First appearance of Cable. again, when I was a boy, uh, I wanted this issue bad, and it was going for about $50 at that time. And my mom called the local collector store in my town, and they had it, and they put it aside for us, and she bought it. And $50 was a lot, especially for a kid just wanting a comic book. And I was early in my comicing, probably in the first not even 5 years, 3 years maybe less. Cool, super cool cover. I love Liefeld art. He's one of my favorites. I know he gets a lot of flack, no feet and such, big guns, big belts, but one of my favorites. I can't wait to meet him someday. But this book is near and dear to my heart. It's been in this Mylar. I just love it, and it's in really good condition. There is some, just little creases or this or that, but nothing much major. I have a second copy of this that I found at a garage sale for $1.75. It is bent to all shit, but this is my prize copy, and I just love this. I can't stop talking about it. When I was a kid, I had a little easel, and I put up a comic of the month or whatever, and this was my comic of the month for several months in a row, and just to display. So, we got to be geeky like that. And so I couldn't pick just 3. So those are my sort of 3 from my growing up in comics, the first 5 or so years of my comic collecting. And I have a certain sense of nostalgia, and I just always need to maintain that. So the next 3 are more modern things that I've accumulated and loved over the years. So first off, Invincible #1. This is the Kirkman series that is coming to an end very shortly in a couple months, 3 months. This is the first issue, excellent condition. I need to get this graded. And I bought this within a lot of 1 through 100 on eBay several years ago. And I invested. I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't really drawn to the character, but something told me to look at the set. It was a decent set. It came down to about $5 or less per issue. And I was like, okay, that's sort of what I would have paid if I was at the store. The cover price is $2.95, so just a couple dollar markup if I'm looking at per issue. And we all know that these first 20 issues are hard to find. So the story is amazing. I devoured it and continue to read it. It's the first thing I read in my pull list every time it comes out. So Invincible #1, awesome cover. And I'm not a big fan of what is this? Cory Walker art. I'm not a big fan of Cory Walker's art, but Ryan Ottley's art is killer. I love everything he does. So he's the new artist. He took over shortly after the book started. So Invincible #1. The next one is Uncanny X-Force #1, the Jerome Opeña series when he took over back in the 2012, 2014, not 14, but somewhere around there. This is the first appearance of Evan Apocalypse, Kid Apocalypse. And this is my second copy, and I will not part with these. These are amazing issues. I've been tracking them down, and every time if I see it multiple times for an affordable price, I'll probably pick it up. But I love the art, love the story, and I love X-Force, just probably from my Rob Liefeld days. But this is a killer book. And then last but not least, and actually I have 2 more, sorry. So I have 7, not 6, is Spawn 150, the Jim Lee variant cover. Variety of reasons. I love artists, as you've heard, Rob Liefeld, Jerome Opeña, George Perez, Jim Lee. I was collecting X-Men. X-Men #1 came out when Jim Lee revamped it around the time of my collecting to begin. And this is a hard issue to find, this Spawn 150. So it's a cool wraparound cover. Hellspawn here. There's tape just on the bag. Excellent condition. So love this issue. And then similar in vein to Spawn is Amazing Spider-Man 300. And this is an issue I'm holding off on. I'm going to get Todd McFarlane to sign it at some point in the near future. I may ship it off to one of those CGC authorized signature dealers and have them sign it, because I don't know if I'm going to get in front of him anytime soon. But Amazing Spider-Man 300. Love this issue. I bought it on eBay probably for about $75. A while back, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. I think longer than that. Has to be about 10. So I just can't say enough. This is an issue that I never thought as a kid I would ever get. Never thought, you never know you're going to make any money that you can spend it on, more than $3 each comic books. So eBay's been amazing for that. The conventions have been amazing for that. So hopefully I didn't violate the rules for this contest for Bryanspaceboy 227. Congrats on the subs again. But I didn't have just 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 favorites. And even then it's torture to whittle it down. So these are ones that really exemplify my early collecting and my current collecting in terms of what really draws me. And I collect a whole lot of different things, but I'm a big Venom fan. I'm a big art fan. I love the covers, the super cool covers. I love the Virgin covers, the things that you can't find every day, the variant covers. My store here in DC doesn't always collect them, or order them, I should say. So I often have to go online and do some searching. Or rely on cool folks out there. So that's my story, that's my contest entry, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Ladies and gentlemen, you could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us in New York City. Are you ready for a cabinet meeting, huh?